All right, happy Thursday, everybody. It is OC Steve coming at you once again with some more New Japan-related news and some updates about the G1 tournament. This will be covering pretty much the spoilers from Night 3. So if you haven't watched Night 3, go check it out on New Japan World, then come on back and we'll keep the discussion going. So with that in mind, the biggest rumors happening right now on social media pertaining to New Japan are the Best of the Super Juniors and World Tag League are going to be fused together, Dragon Ball Z reference intended, after Wrestle Kingdom to be one massive tour. Usually they have two separate tours, so this is going to be a combined tour with the heavyweights and the juniors wrestling multiple nights together. I think this is a smart idea, coming in mind that travel restrictions are still not eased up in Japan at this point. So moving forward, we want to get as many people together to do really phenomenal tours and have quality matches. So I think that's a perfect equation, chemistry, whatever you want to call it, to have a great, unique tour. I think they're trying to have an accelerated schedule because depending on what's going on at the current moment in 2021, there's still the plan to have the Summer Olympics tentatively. So they're trying to get as much in with as much time with venues as they see possible. So I see only the people that are gaining from it are fans in Japan. They get to get a unique tour, and also New Japan fans get to witness a unique event in 2021. So we'll see if they have an announcement. It's very typical in New Japan Forum that they'll probably be announcing it near the end of the G1 or even during Wrestle Kingdom for that matter. So we'll have to wait and see. I hope that this gives an opportunity for many of the juniors that are locked here in the United States or abroad, including Canada. I would love to see ELP come back and actually win the Best of the Super Juniors and just have that accolade added to his many achievements moving forward in his New Japan career. So night 3 of the G1 tournament for A Block happened Wednesday morning here stateside. So it opened with the traditional Young Lions match. Gabriel Kidd of the LA Dojo picked up a phenomenal win. He won that match with a double arm suplex, which was just beautiful. It's pretty much right here in the thumbnail if you can catch it. And if you can watch it again on New Japan World, it was a great match. I think that the future's bright for Gabriel Kidd, whatever faction he lands in New Japan. He is definitely going to be making an impact moving forward in the future of the King of Pro Sports Wrestling. So the first match opening the night was Shingo of LIJ and Jeff Cobb going head-to-head. This was great. Honestly, I thought that Shingo was really showing that even for a smaller frame, he has massive amounts of strength. He was able to do a Made in Japan on Jeff Cobb, one of his signature moves, where he was able to tuck him and do this kind of scoop pile driver. And the fact that you could do that with a man Jeff Cobb's size is, a testament to your strength. Ultimately, Jeff Cobb got the win at the 11-minute, 44-second mark with his Tour of the Islands. So that was another victory for Cobb. And then afterwards, we had the Rainmaker himself, Okada, take on Yujiro Takahashi. This was a kind of a continuation of their feud that happened during the New Japan Cup and throughout the course of the summer. So this was pretty much a lot of the same. We got to see them trying to feel it out. You can tell Okada's is in the process of developing himself, moving forward, and really strengthening his submission game. So he did pick up a win against Yujiro using the Money Clip Cobra Clutch submission around the 12-minute mark. And then around the mid-card, we started to get these faction wars where fellow faction mates were literally clashing heads against each other. And it was Minoru Suzuki, the leader of Suzuki-gun himself, taking on fellow faction mate Taichi. And they literally used every bit of the arena, from inside the ring to outside the ring, to grabbing chairs, bashing them over the head, using guardrails, using cables to, strangle each other. They just pulled all the punches. This was literally what good old JR back in the day would call a slobber knocker, and it definitely lived up to that description. Taichi did end up picking the win at the end, though, with the Black Mephisto around the 12-minute mark or so as well. The next faction feud, if you will, was between Will Ospreay and Ishii of Chaos. The Stone Pitbull is always solid. He's one of those journeymen in New Japan, so it's always great to see him in the ring and show off his prowess and strength. Will's still trying to figure it out. There's a couple spots where you could just tell where he's either trying to jump off the barricade or he was jumping, springboarding off the ropes, that he just didn't feel really confident. He was almost hesitant. He was second-guessing himself just for a microsecond, which seemed like an eternity probably in Will's mind. So I just think that's still him trying to feel out. It's not necessarily ring rust, more so of him just trying to be dealing with this new body that he's developed. He's put on a lot of weight, so he's still trying to do moves. I noticed that in his description, he took out the aerial, and he's just the assassin Will Ospreay. And then he won against Ishii ultimately in that match using Stormbreaker, which is a move that he had in the juniors. But I just, for his own personal safety, I think he maybe needs to develop a new finisher. He was really contorting his neck when he did Stormbreaker on Ishii, and I can only imagine somebody that has broader shoulders and has a wider frame like Jeff Cobb, he's literally going to be contorting his neck. He almost might break his neck just doing the Stormbreaker alone. So that's at least my concern. He is still able to do flips, kicks, a lot of his original offensive abilities, but maybe the Stormbreaker is something that needs to stay with his junior career and moving forward. Maybe do the Oz cutter or some kind of cutter or springboard or some kind of aerial move. It's just kind of, I just don't want to witness anything bad happen to him as he's moving along in the progress of the heavyweight division. So then with that in mind, that did lead to the main event of the night, which was King Switch, aka he is coined his block, his time, the J1 tournament, taking on Kota Ibushi. And this was kind of reminiscent of last year because ultimately this was the G1 final between Jay White and Kota Ibushi. But it was kind of weird, and it was great because Jay was really leaning into this heel heat that nobody could really chant the traditional, like, girls that are in the arena that go, Kota! Like, or you hear it, like, really quick, and he was going, I can't hear you. I can't hear you say it. Come on, say his name. You love him this much. Sing his praises. Sing about Kota Ibushi, but they didn't. And so they were just, like, Kota was kind of trying to develop his own original clap that they were participating in. And it was just hilarious. It was great, traditional, good heel heat from Jay White. Kota did put on a great offense, though. It's always that intensity of Kota Ibushi, and you can just see he's getting more intense as more of these matches begin to progress. I wouldn't be surprised if he starts getting a little bit more aggressive, potentially maybe leaning towards the heel side of things himself. But Jay's in-ring psychology was great. He was focusing on Kota's strength, which is his striking ability with his legs, doing submissions, corkscrews, anything to take his legs out throughout the course of this match. Jay did do it. And then there was very minimal interference from Gato. There was just a couple distractions here and there, but for the most part, it was pretty much Jay dominating this match. Kota did try to attempt a last ride, but he was selling the fact that he had this injury just from the prolonged assault by Jay White on his legs. Ultimately, it came down to Kota was trying to do the Kamigoye, but Jay White was able to counter it and hit the Blade Runner at the end, and it was great. And then even at the end, he was still heckling the audience about their inability to chant Kota's name, almost making them feel responsible that they weren't believing enough in him. They weren't believing in this god, this golden god, as Kota Ibushi is beginning to call himself. But the problem is, he's being a benevolent god. What happens when he doesn't start winning and starts becoming a malevolent god? That'll be the interesting thing throughout the course of the G1 to follow. So that's pretty much, at this point, night 3. I'm going to watch night 4. It's very difficult being stateside and also having a 9-to-5 job to watch these and try to pack in time to commit to these, but I do enjoy the G1 as a New Japan fan. This is the best time of the year. You're getting some of the best wrestling of the year in Japan. I would almost put this on par with Bola, Battle of Los Angeles by PWG. It has that very reminiscent feel. Even some of the guys have competed in Bola, like Takagi has competed there as well last or 2 years ago. So that's pretty much the news for now. I want to know, who did you enjoy night 3? Who do you think will still pull out wins in the A block? I mean, we're only, night 2 of the A block in. Night 3 will be on Sunday. And with that in mind, I'm going to be starting to do New Japan Weekly recaps with my good friend Dave. You've seen maybe a couple of his videos on the Pro Wrestling Tees VIP page where he does unboxings of the Pro Wrestling Crate. He's a fellow fan that loves New Japan as much as I do, so it'll be great to have those conversations with Dave and see kind of his side. I come from the New Japan Bullet Club side. He comes from the LIJ side, so we will see. We will battle wits, exchange conversations about the G1, and I hope you tune in for that. So that's the news for now. If you enjoy New Japan Pro Wrestling, please subscribe to my channel. This is a labor of love. I want to keep the conversation going. I want New Japan to be held in the same regard as any of the other major wrestling promotions. It has existed since 1972, and there's a reason why it has passed the test of time. It's quality over quantity. You're getting grade A material. I mean, McDonald's is around. McDonald's is nationwide. But to get something that is of quality and to enjoy it and appreciate it is just that much sweeter in my mind. So with that in mind, please share, like, subscribe to the channel, keep the comments going in the discussion below, and always keep it too sweet.